Becky Lynch is delusional. The former man who abandoned WWE for over a year, who walked away when the women's division needed her most, who left a vacuum that talents like Rhea Ripley and Io Sky had to fill, just returned to Monday Night Raw and had the audacity to call herself the definition of cool. Are you kidding me? While Becky was sitting at home playing house, an entire generation of women's wrestlers were carrying Raw on their backs with zero help from the supposed face of the division. And now she walks back in like she owns the place, claiming she's cool, claiming she's still relevant, claiming she deserves anything after abandoning ship. If this doesn't make you furious, if you're not questioning Becky's entitlement and ego, then you need to hear why this promo might be the most tone-deaf return speech in WWE history. Because what Becky said on Raw wasn't confidence, it was arrogance. And I'm about to break down exactly why the women's locker room should be livid. Monday Night Raw opened with Becky Lynch's music hitting after months of silence. The crowd erupted, half in genuine excitement, half because they didn't know how to react. Becky walked out with that familiar swagger, orange hair flowing, leather jacket, sunglasses at night, the whole cool aesthetic she's been pushing. But something felt off. The energy wasn't the same as her previous returns. There was something almost desperate in how hard she was trying to look cool. Becky grabbed a microphone and soaked in the reaction for a moment before speaking. Well, did you miss me? Of course you did. Because let's be real, Raw hasn't been the same without Becky Lynch. The ratings show it. The buzz shows it. The absence of cool shows it. The crowd was mixed, some cheering, others already sensing the ego trip coming. I've been watching from home, and I've seen some talented women out here. I've seen Rhea Ripley dominating. I've seen Liv Morgan trying her best. I've seen Io Sky doing her thing. But you know what was missing? What this division has been desperately lacking. Cool. And lucky for all of you, I'm back to remind everyone what the definition of cool looks like. Drop a comment right now. Does Becky Lynch have the right to claim she's the definition of cool after abandoning WWE? The crowd was starting to boo. Not everyone, but enough to notice. Because Becky's words weren't landing the way she expected. She was acting like her return was a gift to the division, but many fans remembered how the women's division thrived in her absence. They remembered Rhea Ripley's dominant title reign, Io Sky's incredible matches, Liv Morgan's character evolution. The division didn't need Becky, it flourished without her. I know what you're thinking, Becky continued, addressing the growing boos. You're thinking, Becky, you left us, but I didn't leave, I took a strategic absence. I let the rest of the division try to catch up. I gave them a chance to reach my level. And you know what? Some came close. But close isn't good enough. Because there's cool, and then there's Becky Lynch cool. And that's a level nobody has reached. Rhea Ripley's music hit immediately. The Eradicator walked out looking pissed. Strategic absence. Becky, you quit. You walked away when things got tough. Meanwhile, I was here carrying this division on my back. I was defending the title. I was having classic matches. I was the face of Raw's women's division while you were at home watching Netflix. So don't you dare walk back in here acting like you're doing us a favor. The crowd erupted for Rhea. Finally, someone was calling out Becky's ego. Rhea continued, you want to talk about cool? You look like you're trying too hard, mate. Cool isn't something you claim, it's something people recognize. And right now, all I see is a woman desperate to reclaim relevance she lost. Becky's expression shifted from confident to annoyed. Rhea, I respect what you've done. I do. But let's not pretend you filled my shoes. You filled a vacancy. There's a difference. I created the blueprint. I showed the world that women can main event WrestleMania. I'm the man. I'm the standard. And everyone who came after? They're living in the house that Becky built. Second question for the comments, Team Becky or Team Rhea? Who's right in this argument? Io Sky's music hit next. The genius of the Sky walked out with her title, looking confused and offended. Through a translator, Io spoke, Becky Lynch thinks she only cool one? Io Sky create moments every week. Io Sky have matches people talk about. Io Sky don't need talk about cool, Io just be cool. The crowd was loving this. 3 of WWE's biggest female stars, all with legitimate claims to being the face of the division, all clashing over Becky's controversial return promo. But the tension was about to get worse. Liv Morgan walked out next, no music, just marching down the ramp with purpose. You know what, Becky? I used to idolize you. I used to think you were the coolest thing in wrestling. But watching you come back and diminish everything we accomplished while you were gone? That's not cool, that's pathetic. Becky's face was turning red. Pathetic. I revolutionized this division. I made it possible for all of you to have careers. Show some respect. Her voice was rising, the facade of cool confidence cracking. Respect is earned. Rhea shot back. And you haven't earned anything since you came back. You've just talked. You haven't had one match. You haven't proven you can still go. For all we know, you lost IT while you were away. Maybe you came back because you realized you're irrelevant without WWE. Maybe you need us more than we need you. The words hit Becky like a slap. Because there was truth in them. Becky had been away for a long time. The division had evolved without her. New stars had emerged. What if Becky couldn't keep up anymore? What if her return was driven by fear of being forgotten rather than confidence? Adam Pearce came out trying to restore order. Ladies, we're not doing this. Becky, you want to prove you're still the standard? You want to show you're the definition of cool, then prove it. Next week, you're facing Rhea Ripley one-on-one, and if you win, you get added to the championship picture. If you lose, you go to the back of the line. The crowd roared in approval. This was perfect. Put Becky's claims to the test immediately. Don't let her coast on reputation, make her earn her spot. Becky looked at Rhea, then at the crowd, then back at Pearce. You could see the wheels turning. This wasn't how she planned her return. She wanted to be handed opportunities, not have to fight for them. But backing down now would destroy her credibility. Fine. Next week, I'll remind Rhea why I'm the man. And after I beat her, everyone will remember I am the definition of cool. Third question, predict the outcome. Does Becky beat Rhea next week, or does she get exposed? The segment ended with all four women staring each other down while Becky stood alone at the top of the ramp. The visual was powerful. Becky isolated, trying to maintain her cool facade, while the women who'd carried the division in her absence stood united in the ring. Now let's break down why this segment is so controversial. Becky Lynch's return promo was clearly designed to generate heel heat. She was acting entitled, dismissive of others' accomplishments, and claiming superiority without proving anything. But was this intentional character work or Becky's real ego showing through? Here's the problem: Becky's claim of being the definition of cool rings hollow after her absence. Cool isn't something you declare, it's something the audience decides. And right now, the audience is split. Older fans remember Becky's incredible 2018 to 2019 run and want to support her. But newer fans who fell in love with Rhea, Io, and lived during Becky's absence are rejecting her claims. And Becky's dismissal of what others accomplished is infuriating. Rhea Ripley had one of the most dominant women's title reigns in recent memory. She elevated the championship. She had classics with Nia Jax, with Charlotte, with multiple opponents. To diminish that as filling a vacancy is disrespectful. Io Sky revolutionized what's possible in women's wrestling with her aerial innovation. Liv Morgan completely reinvented her character and became a star. These women didn't just maintain the division, they elevated it. They proved the division doesn't need one person to survive. But here's where Becky has a point: she did create the blueprint. Her 2018 rise was organic and revolutionary. She proved women could main event WrestleMania. She broke barriers. She changed WWE's perception of what female wrestlers could be. That's undeniable. So her frustration at being forgotten or diminished makes sense. This creates fascinating tension. Becky has legacy on her side, but Rhea and others have recent accomplishments. Becky built the house, but others decorated it and made it a home. Who has more claim to being the face of the division, the architect who left, or the residents who maintained and improved it? The match next week between Becky and Rhea is crucial. If Becky wins clean, it validates her claims and re-establishes her as elite. If Rhea wins, it proves the division has evolved beyond Becky. If it's a dirty finish, it extends the feud but doesn't answer the core question. My prediction? The match ends in controversy, maybe interference from another jealous star, maybe a double count-out that forces WWE to book a multi-woman match for the title. Fatal 4-way with Becky, Rhea, Io, and Liv. Winner takes the championship and the claim of being Raw's true top woman. But the real story is Becky's character evolution. Is she becoming a delusional heel who can't accept the division moved on? Is she a desperate veteran clinging to past glory? Or is she a confident legend who knows her worth despite others' jealousy? WWE needs to clarify Becky's role because right now she's in character limbo. Here's what makes this brilliant: there's no clear babyface or heel. Becky has legitimate points but expresses them arrogantly. Rhea is defending her accomplishments but might be insecure about Becky's return. Io and Liv have valid grievances but also seem threatened. It's nuanced storytelling that mirrors real workplace dynamics. The crowd reaction next week will be telling. If Becky gets cheered despite her ego, WWE knows fans still support her and can push her as a tweener. If she gets booed, they commit to a full heel turn. If it's mixed, they continue the ambiguity. The audience will dictate Becky's direction. And let's address the elephant in the room: is Becky's definition of cool gimmick even working? Cool is subjective, but trying to force cool makes you inherently uncool. Becky seems to be trying too hard, which makes her seem insecure. True confidence doesn't need constant affirmation. Compare this to Rhea's cool. Rhea doesn't claim to be cool, she just is. Her aesthetic, her attitude, her dominance, it all naturally reads as cool. Becky's forced coolness feels like a midlife crisis, desperately clinging to youth and relevance. This could be WWE's commentary on celebrity culture and influencer mentality. In an age where everyone curates their image obsessively, Becky represents someone so focused on appearing cool that she's lost what made her authentically cool. Her original rise was organic because she was real, now she's manufactured. The wrestling world is divided. Twitter is battling over hashtag Team Becky vs hashtag Team Rhea. Reddit threads are analyzing every word of the promo. YouTube reaction videos are getting millions of views. WWE created a genuine debate, which is the mark of great storytelling. Share this video because Becky's controversial return is the biggest talking point in wrestling. Comment whether Becky is right to call herself the definition of cool or if she's delusional. Like if you think Rhea should humble Becky next week. Subscribe to Wrestling World CC because we're covering every development in this women's division war. Becky Lynch returned claiming she's the definition of cool, but Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Liv Morgan all challenged that claim. Next week's match will determine if Becky can back up her words or if she's just living in the past. The women's division is more competitive than ever, and Becky's return might have just started the most intense feud of the year. Legacy versus current dominance. Past glory versus present excellence. The battle for the soul of Raw's women's division has begun, and only one woman can truly be the definition of cool.